He's the Hall of Famer, Fox NFL Sunday analyst, and he gets the weekend off. He gets to go see two of his boys, Chris and Kyle, Bears-Rams broadcast. He joins us now. You going to be on the sidelines, Howie? Where do you sit?
No. I'll be down there before the game to do a quick interview. Diane and I will do a quick interview in one segment on our show, and then we're off the field and enjoy the game.
Which son do you like?
As much as you can enjoy.
Which son do you like the most?
I don't know. Christmas is coming up. Whichever gives me a better gift.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but you got Kyle being the rookie. So,
yeah.
I mean, Chris is established. Do you sort of secretly privately root for Kyle to hold his own? And are these two going to be banging heads against each other?
Periodically, Chris goes down in, what we call a 4-eye or a 3 technique, and, that will happen. But I'd say 90% of the time, no. It's kind of like with Diane right now. She's been, chasing both boys around, between Oregon and the Rams and, doing the Saturday, Sunday kind of deal. And this year, with Kyle being a rookie, when there's a conflict, she goes to, the Bears games because, as a rookie, he's a single guy. You need a friendly face outside the locker room. There are going to be some ups and downs, and then we go to Rams games when we can.
When did you realize that if your sons got mad, that they might be able to take you?
I'll tell you, I can tell you the exact moment with Chris. Now, with Kyle, Kyle was 295 in high school. Yeah. And, you kind of realized very early on, that, the wrestling around the sofa just wasn't working. You get to operation number 10 and, you're a bit handicapped. But Chris and I would wrestle when he was in high school, periodically, and his mom would be screaming in the background. And I remember being that one time his senior year when I ended up slipping on a hand, and he bear hugged me, picked me up in the air, and that moment seems like an eternity. That moment before the moment of impact, which was me in the air and then hitting the ground. At that point, I said, "You know what? My job's done. He's ready to go."
And then
he's all yours.
And then you got Howie Jr.
Howie is the classic Toro Tanaka. He's pulling out the foreign object. Howie and Kyle are kind of like Irish twins, whereas Chris was 4 years older, so there wasn't a lot of conflict there, but Howie and Kyle were constantly at it. Extremely close, but constantly at it. Hey, we're going to pull the car over. Stop it. The classic, it was just out of the movies. We'd be at Glacier National Park standing looking at the vista and, the sheer awe of, Montana, and you look back at the car, and the car's shaking, and they're in the back seat of the car, killing one another. And Howie's 6 feet, 185, and Kyle's 6'7", 320. So you got to pick up a foreign object here and there.
Talking to Howie Long, Fox NFL Sunday Hall of Famer. I was talking about this with Rich Eisen last hour. Why is it that every defensive player, when you have a hit on a quarterback that you get flagged, you also get fined for? Why does Ahmad Brooks have to get fined for that hit when he's already gotten flagged for that hit?
Because I think we're kidding ourselves if we don't realize that position, that quarterback position, that's a statement fine as much as anything, and they're not going to walk that back. And my question is, with the position of the official where he is now versus where he was in the past, behind the quarterback, I think he's making that call based on the whiplash effect of Ahmad Brooks' hit. In my mind, and Mike Pereira and I disagreed about this, and I have a great deal of respect for Mike, but he's saying he hit him in the neck area. Where is the neck area?
I said the same thing to him yesterday, Howie.
Yeah, no, I don't get it, Dan. How is it different than the week before? Let's say Peyton Manning gets hit above the knee initially, and the defensive tackle slides down post-hit. And Mike said that's a clean hit. If Ahmad Brooks is hitting him in the chest, and due to the whiplash effect and just gravity, it slides up late because of the way that Drew Brees reacted to the hit, which is understandable. How is that different? It's kind of like the Gronk call. It's mind-boggling to me. The hold or the interference occurs before the ball is intercepted. How is that different than, and they're saying it's uncatchable, how is that different than you've got a wide receiver split right, a wide receiver split left, the ball goes to the wide receiver split right, it's incomplete, but the wide receiver split left is interfered with.
Yeah.
He has nothing to do with the ball.
Yeah.
Why
I
are
said
they
the
calling
same thing.
that?
I know. I said the same thing.
I don't get it.
Well, plus the uncatchable ball, I think that's, I don't like what that designates because there's so many times these guys do make these catches that we would deem uncatchable.
He's 6'7", 265 with a wingspan of 7 feet.
I have to believe.
At least give him the opportunity to make the play.
Yes, that he could have broke
throw
back.
The flag down and look, and you and I both know this. Officiating in the NFL is very, very hard to do. And, they get it right more often than not. And these are the plays, those game-defining plays, the Ahmad Brooks play at the end of the game, the Gronkowski no call at the end of the game. They're plays that we talk about because, and it's like Tom Brady said, look, we should have made more plays throughout the course of the game and we wouldn't have been in that position. I get that. That's not what Tom, I doubt that's what Tom was saying in the tunnel. I'm not a lip reader.
You don't need to be.
Right.
Tom
wasn't saying, you know what, that was a bad call, but you know what, we should have made more plays, and I get it. That's not what he was saying.
Is there a play in your career that you still think about?
Golly. I rarely ever think about my career. I'm so busy with what I do and thinking about, I've got the boys, whether it's in high school, college, or pro, I never think about my career. I rarely do. I have to, it's almost like going back to Canton every year is an opportunity to kind of say, you know what, think about it. Draw on it. I think.
Well, you
Chris,
didn't even know the year you retired. You were 10 years off. I'm watching the show.
Hey Dan, that's the second thing that goes. They have a pill for the first.
And I love when you guys are talking about Minka Kelly, and then you said,
"How about Terry? Terry, please, so you're saying I got a shot?"
I know. Like Minka Kelly's thinking you want some of this, and then
I got to get me some of that.
Oh yeah, I know. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that poor girl.
Hey, look, how lucky are we, Dan?
I know.
It ought to be illegal. I worked really hard for a long time, but it's been a long time since I've worked hard.
So to recap, you're rooting for Kyle to get the better of Chris, and
You're
Kyle
amazing.
is your favorite, right?
You're amazing.
We got that right, right? So
now, it's. I'm not quite sure how we're going to feel. I know Buddha. I don't like him either.
What is that? German Shepherd?
No, he's part pit. He's a rescue dog.
Oh.
He has desertion issues.
Oh, so you can't leave?
No. He just it manifests itself in people come in the house and you never know. It's kind of a coin flip.
What do you mean?
He could be good dog, bad dog.
Oh.
You good dog today, Buddha? I say kill.
Really?
You get by Scottsdale. Come on down here.
Yeah. I'm going to put some treats in my pocket, too, just to
now,
make him
that
happy.
will work. That will work.
I'm going to have a ham sandwich in my pocket when I see Buddha.
Now, but we're looking forward to the weekend. It's, I've always been appreciative of, for example, the Mannings and, no two kids are the same, and how they feel when they're playing against one another. But they're not hitting one another, so it adds a different dynamic.
Who is more likely to take a cheap shot, Kyle to Chris or Chris to Kyle?
Oh, neither.
Like they wouldn't just like a.
No.
I mean, not something that would hurt them.
The one thing when they said they wanted to play, I thought it was important that I coach, and the few things that are particular, the ABCs of it are: this is how you prepare, this is how you work, this is how you play from a technique standpoint to best give yourself the opportunity to not put yourself in harm's reach, and this is how you treat your opponent. Those are the basics. I would be shocked if one of the boys were cheap.
Well, have fun this weekend, and great moment for you. And hopefully you get to enjoy
it. Thank you, partner.
All right?
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
buddy.
it. See you down the road.
Okay. That's Howie Long. You want to stop by Scottsdale and see Buddha.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.